Yes, Reggae Boyz commentary, like and subscribe, yeah?
Reggae Boyz commentary, like, share, and subscribe.
Reggae Boyz commentary, subscribe, like, and share. Is that the right order?
Subscribe. Reggae Boyz commentary, like, share, and subscribe.
That's 3 for the day. Could there be more? We shall see. Hello everyone, I'm Simon Preston and welcome back to Reggae Boyz Commentary. Thank you so much for tuning into another video on this channel. Before we get into the live comments that you guys are saying, the super chat option is available. So highlight your questions or comments in the super chat and utilize the super chat to get your comments, and it's a good way to support the channel in addition to your likes and comments and of course subscribing. Quite shortly, I will be answering the questions that you have left as well, but I want to bring up a message that Michail Antonio shared on his social media accounts quite recently, on his Twitter and also on his Instagram. Both messages are the same. Michail Antonio said, "Representing Jamaica is one of the proudest achievements in my career so far. Playing in Kingston with the home support behind us was incredible and will stay with me forever. I'm gutted we haven't qualified for the World Cup, but the spirit of the team is strong striker." Yes, so Michail has scored 3 goals in 6 appearances for Jamaica so far. Scored against El Salvador, scored against the United States, scored against Panama. Big teams, you could say. He scored 2 goals on Central American soil, something that not many people can say they've done. Marlon King has done that. Apart from Marlon King, not many people can say they've scored 2 goals on Central American soil, honestly. We've had Darren Mattock score in Central American soil, Clayton Donaldson. Let's go back in the campaigns and think about it, shall we? Let's go to 2018 campaign. We didn't score in Panama. We didn't score in Costa Rica. Let's go back. Well, the Nicaragua game was Simon Dawkins and Mattox. 2014 campaign, Luton Shelton scored in Guatemala. And in Panama was a 0-0 draw. Honduras, we lost 2-0. Costa Rica, we didn't score. 2006 campaign, no, 2010 campaign, we didn't score in Honduras. Yeah. And in the 2006 campaign, Theodore Whitmore scored in Panama. Nobody scored in, well, in El Salvador's Marlon King and, well, Marlon King, Brace, and Micah Hyde. 2002 campaign, nobody scored in Mexico. Well, Mexico's not Central America. Nobody scored in Honduras. Costa Rica was an Andy Lowe. 2002. So 98 campaign, you had who was scoring there? You had Andy Williams scoring Costa Rica. El Salvador, you had Dion Burton and Paul Hall. So yeah, other than Marlon King, Michail Antonio is the only other person that has scored 2 goals on Central American soil. In World Cup qualifying, that is. We've had Dane Richards that has scored multiple goals, but it wasn't in World Cup qualifying. But you get the drift. Marlon King and Michail Antonio. So kudos to them for being part of this piece of history. So Michail Antonio has stressed that representing Jamaica is one of the proudest achievements in my career so far. Playing in Kingston with the home support behind us was incredible and will stay with me forever. I'm gutted we haven't qualified for the World Cup, but the spirit of the team is strong. We'll be back. Michail Antonio, for a bit of context for people, right now is 31 years old. He was born in 1990. So he's going to be 32 in March. By the time the 2026 World Cup rolls around, he's going to be 36. Realistically speaking, do you expect him to be part of that World Cup in 2026? If he takes care of his body, there's a chance. Will he be a Premier League player by then? We'll see how West Ham treats him and how he goes on. I think he has another 2 years left on his contract there. So it will really depend on how he treats his body and how he takes care of himself. But definitely the Nations League and Gold Cup 2023, you have Michail Antonio in the mix. You have the core that we had in this campaign. And I'm not talking about Tapa's core per se, but the core of players from England in this campaign. I don't see why we can't win the Gold Cup or win the Nations League. Let's win a trophy. Let's do something we've never done before. If we want to call ourselves to be big boys of CONCACAF, if we want to call ourselves to not be in that tier below the United States and Mexico, we need to go and win something. If we want to consider ourselves to be giants in CONCACAF, we need to, and be in the same bracket as USA and Mexico, we need to do something that we've never done, and that's lift a trophy regionally. We've never won a CONCACAF title before. Never. We've won Caribbean crowns, but we've never won a CONCACAF crown. So winning the Nations League and or the Gold Cup for me is a priority. If you ask me which one I would prefer to win, if you gave me a choice right now, I would win either of them because both are of value. I would lean towards the Gold Cup because it would feel like finishing the job that we didn't do 2015 and 2017. That's how I feel with this in particular. But let's see what you guys have to say in the comments. Baking said walk one for Reggae Girls. Well, the Reggae Girls, they'll come into World Cup qualifying February 17. That comes against Bermuda at the National Stadium. They'll also play in the qualifiers Grenada, the Cayman Islands, and the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic is going to be a really, really tough game. So we're going to have to stay tuned for that. What's up, Simon? Says, Ayaz, big up. I'm good. Doing good, thanks. Gareen Chapman says, thanks, Doc. Yeah. Gregory Reed says, good morning, Simon. How are you doing? I'm doing well, thanks. I'm doing really, really well. John Powell says, good afternoon, Simon. How are you? I'm doing good, thank you. I hope you are doing well as well. Don't like the vibes that Fisher and Watson they push. Oh. Yeah. The overseas players need to realize that the pretty football they are used to is a bit different from our region. They just have to play more direct. And that is the reason why, Marcus, that we need to have these players in for Nations League, because they'll get accustomed to Central American pitches, get used to Caribbean pitches, so that they can know what CONCACAF is like. Because CONCACAF is no cakewalk. So that's why we need them in this sort of system. We need to start playing 3 at the back, says Hyperpower 26. That's an option for us. Marcus, I'm sorry about this, but I hope the audio gets better soon. But I am working on it. My audio book. So yeah. Have the roster call up for Reggae Girls? No, the roster should be released sometime next week. So when all of that comes out, I will certainly be working on that for you all. Javon says, hope JFF hires Paul Hall. He has a vision that I want to see come to fruition. I hope he's given the Nations League, and after the Nations League, we can say, all right, we're going to give him the Gold Cup. But if we get relegated from League A of the Nations League, I'm tempted to say we have to go in another direction. That's how I feel on the matter. Atiba Hutchinson is 39 years of age and is playing a decent level. I don't see why Antonio can't. We'll see, because Atiba is in a different position from Michail, but let's see. But I don't think you can just have 2 players and compare, because it really depends. Not many players, especially that play in England, can play in their late 30s. So it really, really depends on the personnel. Shandine Brown says the team needs structure to get friendlies and games in general. A training camp to build chemistry. The team is just too disjointed at times. The issue, Mr. Brown, with training camps is that you're only going to have a certain niche of players, and those are the players that play their trade in Jamaica, in the Jamaica Premier League. But you're not going to have those players in Europe available to you unless it's a FIFA window. So that's the dilemma right there. But good words from Antonio. It's encouraging, and it shows commitment that he is not only here for qualifiers, but he's here for beyond. And that is something that we like, don't we? We want to see him be here beyond the campaign. So that's good. That's something that we should all be content and happy about. And like I said, guys, for those of you just tuning in, the super chat feature is now available. You can pose your questions and it will be highlighted above, and we will have a brief discussion about the matter. But yes, as it relates to everything that you guys have made mention about here, Antonio has said what he has had to say, and I think this is something that should be commended and should be spoken about. Gremlin Beats has dropped in the comments and said 35 next World Cup isn't a bad age for a vet striker, so would any rule out Antonio just said? Like I said, it depends on how he takes care of himself. He's going to be 32 in March. I expect him to be at West Ham for another 2 years at least. So that would take him to 2024. Can see my Reggae Boy at the Gold Cup next year. So it's from there how he takes care of himself. And let's see. Let's see how things go from there. Anything on Baker? Baker hasn't applied for any Jamaican passport or anything of that nature. Dwayne Morrison and Gray. Nothing new as it relates to those two individuals. Nothing new as it relates to those two. We're just going to have to wait and see. But nothing new, I think, with the demise of the campaign, that might be on hold and that won't be a priority right now. Hot Chili said, it's good to see that the UK-based players were not just here for the qualifiers. Hope JFF don't mess things up. That's why we need to think long-term. Yes, you might not need English-based players to beat Bonaire or Anguilla or Montserrat, but guess what? You're giving these guys an opportunity to know what CONCACAF is like. So by the time the next set of World Cup qualifying comes around, they don't feel like a fish out of water. They'll feel settled. They'll feel comfortable. And when I mean comfortable, I don't mean underestimating the opposition, but knowing your surroundings and knowing your expectations and knowing exactly what these types of opposition in CONCACAF will bring. Why is Moyes complaining about Antonio? I guess in relation to the trouble, I think. But he did play 3 games, so maybe that's what Moyes has a challenge with. But he said that he's disappointed as he returns just 24 hours before the FA Cup tie. In the Hammers news, let me bring it up on your screen, and we can take it from there to see what was done. But yeah, he played quite a lot for us, which we're happy about that he's playing for us. But I'll bring up what David Moyes has been referring to. David Moyes has spoken about it. So David Moyes discussed Antonio as his recent comments. The 31-year-old played 3 games in 6 days and 71 minutes against Mexico, the full game against Panama, and 58 minutes against Costa Rica. Okay, yeah. And he's talking about a lot of air miles. So David Moyes says that they have one of the thinnest squads in the top flight and they play Kidderminster Harriers. But here's my thing. West Ham do not need Antonio to beat Kidderminster Harriers in the FA Cup. They don't. To the comment. Mick will arrive back from Jamaica at 11 o'clock today. I think the biggest problem is that the scheduling for all the games is really tough for people doing that. The people who get affected are the players first and foremost. But if you're a club paying their wages, it's hardly correct that you get a player back at 11 o'clock on a Friday morning to play at 12:30 on Saturday. So, but it's not our fault that British Airways only goes a certain way. It's not our fault that we only have 1 flight a day. Wouldn't you rather that instead of Michail Antonio go from Kingston to Miami to New York to London? Wouldn't it be easier to go that 1 straight flight? So that's my thing with it, though. So, but I honestly don't think that David Moyes needs to be worried because he does not need Michail Antonio to beat Kidderminster Harriers. Now, if he was playing Tottenham tomorrow, Chelsea, Wolves, Southampton, I could say, okay, but you're playing against Kidderminster Harriers and you do not need Michail Antonio to beat Kidderminster Harriers. You can put Declan Rice up front and he'll get you something. You don't need him. Any update on Demari Gray and passport? Nope. Yep, non-league team. Big up Simon says, Fresh God, big up. Hope you're doing good. Believe we should push up Pinnock and King partnership. They're our best CBs. I think it might be a back 3 if you're going to have Pinnock and King in the mix. I really wanted to see these players at the World Cup, though, Mr. Preston. A lot of talent. Yeah, a lot of talent. Some of them you will see at a World Cup eventually. Some. My brain now better come here. Okay, if him want come, him come. If him no want come, simple. Simple. Just so. Isn't it? So let us see what's going on. We shall see what will happen. And then we take it from there. Yep. We need to get Holgate and Godfrey. Well, Godfrey, as you know, he remains eligible to play for Jamaica because he has only played a certain number of games for England and they were friendlies. So he still remains eligible for Jamaica. But you know what happens if John Stones and Harry Maguire get injured? He's back in the mix with Ben White and Connor Cody and Tyrone Mings. So we're just going to have to wait and see how time progresses. Maybe Fikaya Tomori will bombard him out of that 6 list. So, but yeah, Mason Holgate and Godfrey would be solid additions in the future. For sure. They'll be good additions moving forward. So yes, Reggae Boyz fans, how do you feel about Michail Antonio making the commitments? Does this calm your fears that he's only going to be here for the qualifiers? Does it calm your emotions about everything? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boyz Commentary for more content. All right, guys, just let me know your thoughts. And we'll see what happens from there. Yeah? Sounds good? Realistic? Well, I hope you guys know that a lot more content is going to come your way. If you haven't already, check out the 2 previous videos I've done on the channel today. One about Anthony Follis-Willian, a veteran coach who passed away on Wednesday. And in addition to that, a video that I did on xenophobia amongst Jamaican footballers. Yeah, check it out now.